Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hey, Reggie, how's it going?
Great, man. Good to see you.
Good. You and Eddie are back together again. Talk to me about how did it get from going from getting the script to getting Eddie to agree with it?
Well, that was the great part. I had a meeting with Amazon. I told them I love Christmas movies. They said, we have a Christmas movie, and Eddie Murphy wants to star. So I read the script, loved it, and Eddie was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So let's get to work.
That simple,
Yeah, it was weird because it's taken us 30 years to find the right script, but when it came together, it was effortless.
So then you make this movie and it's playing on Prime Video, and it luckily got some theater run last week or so forth. What's going to make this stand apart? Because we're getting a lot of Christmas movies. We get that article that says here's 100 Christmas movies. And we only get to know like 8 that are really good. You gotta have to have one scene that people will clip out forever and use it and like remember this scene. So when as you're putting this together, whether or not
Mhm.
you the streak, the script, what was it that you saw within this film that says, okay, I can make this and make this last more than just 1 year?
Right. Well, the most important thing is to know what you have to have in a Christmas movie, which is love and family and great Christmas music and beautiful decoration. So we made sure we had that in surplus. Then you've got to do things that the audience does not expect. And you're right, there is this glut of Christmas movies every year. So you go, how do you stand out? You go, well, we've got a chase scene, and we've got kung fu, and we've got jump scares. You don't expect that in the movie. And that was a great thing watching the audience last night, and they're scared, and then they're like, what? This was a great movie to really push the boundaries. Because you go, look, guys, either we are really unique or we're one of many. So the studio was completely supportive of the craziest ideas I could think of.
How dynamic is that chemistry between you and Eddie now as director, actor, as opposed to friends? Obviously, when you did Boomerang years ago, eons ago, it was a different atmosphere. Now, it's 30 years later. Is it like, okay, I know what you need, or it was like, okay, you're really directing him?
Yeah, no, it was great because there's a rapport. He trusts me. He knows I'm going to create a supportive environment for him to do his best work and not be bothered by anything. He likes big and bold ideas, so there's nothing crazy I thought of that he was like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. He likes at this point in his career, how can I do something different? How can I go to a different place? So whether it's having a dramatic beat in the middle of the comedy or, absurdist humor or just little dynamics, whether it's, him and his wife, him and his daughter, him and the neighbors, he always adds that little extra to it.
Speaking of the supporting cast, you've got Tracee Ellis Ross, you got, a number of other actors that we're familiar with. How was it putting this cast together? Something that he can mesh with.
Well, the key is, look, Eddie Murphy's like Michael Jordan, right? So, sure, can he win the game by himself? Absolutely. But it would be better if he had a great team around him? Yes. So, who's his Scottie Pippen? Who's the worm? Who's so Tracee Ellis Ross was perfect to play his wife. Her comedic chops are extraordinary. And at the end of the day, that's the measurement. Are you funny? And she had it. Nick Offerman, unlikely choice, but was excited by what we wanted to do. Robin Thede, good friend of mine, amazing comedian, wanting to work with her for years. Chris Red, as soon as he left Saturday Night Live, I was like, let's get him right now. DC Young Fly, super hot, on the rise comic. I've been a fan of his. So it's just a matter of just like, we can get the best people, so let's just get them.
And the invisible character in the movie is the production design. There's a lot that goes on when you're looking at the production design. It ain't just your ordinary Christmas movies. People are like, look what they did here. How much work went into the production design as opposed to like, you've got a script, you got the performances, but let's surround them with something that looks really great.
Well, today, for a movie, and I don't care if it's theatrical or streamer, scale, scope, and spectacle are crucial. And I was really happy to meet Aaron Osborne. We've never worked together before, but he completely shared that gonzo sensibility that I had. No matter what he would come with, this is a little crazy. I'm like, he didn't go far enough. And then I'd push him to go even bolder, and we just had a great rapport. And we made a movie that people are like, whoa, this Kringles is an amazing set. Oh, I mean, we just wanted to keep shocking and surprising people, going to big, bold places.
Today happens to be what would have been Chadwick Boseman's birthday, and I'm thinking about biopics. Is there another biopic in the cards for you?
Sure, there's always people I admire, either as a documentary or as a scripted piece. I mean, when you say that, there are a couple of movies I was talking with Chadwick about. I mean, I was really looking forward to making a bunch of movies with him. We had a great rapport. Not only as we're making Marshall, his next movie was Black Panther, and because I wrote Black Panther, first thing we did when we met was just talk for an hour about who his character is, what Wakanda is. We had talked about doing Yasuke together. I wanted him to play Sidney Poitier in a scripted project because I thought he would be perfect in that role. So yeah, there's definitely more historical things, contemporary things that I want to do in that genre as well.
You've got Eddie. You've now come back working with him again. Is there another one in the books with you and Eddie? We don't want to wait another 30 years.
Well, that's what I said. I said, guys, if it takes another 30 years, we're going to be too old. We got to get it together sooner than that. So we'll see. But I can't wait to do it again.
Before I let you go, obviously, you directed Sydney the documentary. You've got this movie. What goes into saying yes to the projects you take? Because they're all over the place, which is good that you can do different types of movies.
For me, look, I know as a piece of business, it's bad because people just want you to have a label. Oh, you're the guy who does that kind of comedy. And for a long time, I was that guy. Oh, Reggie, he did House Party, he did Boomerang, he's that comedy guy. But I like to switch it up. I like to rotate the crops. It keeps you on your toes creatively. There's a feeling of risk and fear. You could blow it. So moving from historical dramas to documentaries to award shows to comic books to concerts, it just keeps, me on my toes and keeps me excited. So even now, returning to comedy, I'm excited because I haven't done comedy. So I get to really enjoy what's unique about working in this genre.
Congrats again on Candy Cane Lane, bringing back, Eddie Murphy, working with him again, and we'll talk down the road.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.